Hello guys, I'm here to talk about a TikToker who's gone under fire recently for multiple reasons, and that is a TikToker by the user of Umi.Chii. This creator originally gained popularity through the heavy editing she would do in her videos, like uncanny editing. It was low-key scary to look at. But when she went viral, she gained fans because of this, because some people liked the uncanny aesthetic that she gave off in her videos, and some people could relate to her in how they felt like they needed to edit their faces to fit their own unhealthy beauty standards. But now she's been getting a lot of backlash for a multitude of reasons that all started when people went and looked at her Facebook account, which, proves that whatever you post on the internet is forever and people will always find stuff about you. Now, before I get into the controversies, I must make a disclaimer. Please do not go send hate to Umi.Chii. It's not like you can do that now either way, because her TikTok, as of making this video, is gone. There will be mentions of eating problems, lollies, body dysmorphia. So if any of those topics, you're uncomfortable with that, you can step out. Now, with that being said, we can now get into the controversies. She's been accused of multiple things recently. That includes being racist to her own race, trying to be Japanese, lollybaiting, being a hypocrite, which I think are all valid reasons to call her out on. And then there's some reasons that people are upset with her that I'll bring up, but I feel like they're just a little nonsensical. So let's get to the first thing. Here's one Facebook screenshot, and it's basically calling out people who use ChatGPT to act like they know Japanese. It says, "It can't be helped that there will always be teenagers who use ChatGPT to translate their thoughts into Japanese for the aesthetic of it. But if you're going to speak it out, you should at least know how the sentence flow in a speech, where the words stop and where the tones rise and fall. You don't want to be embarrassing yourself among native speakers." I think this is goofy to post because she quite literally did the exact same thing that this post is calling out. There's literally an audio clip going around where she's saying some random stuff in Japanese that just doesn't make sense, and she's doing it to sound cute.
どうしようあ、そうだはい全然わかんない全然わかんないです始めましょうはいそういうのありますねありますよね
It's so bad that it's a joke on TikTok now.
どうしようあ、そうだはい
Now, on its own, is that inherently problematic? No, but when you put it into the context of the other stuff that I will bring up later, it's a little worse than it seems. But that's one instance of her being a hypocrite. But another instance is when she got asked how to edit her videos, and she made a whole post about how she wouldn't because it's wrong to show people and fuel their unhealthy mindsets.
And the thing is, it's always going to be an extremely nuanced thing that should lead to the singular conclusion that I can't help people with that, because I shouldn't. All I can ethically do is direct.
But then she proceeded to release tutorials on how to do those exact things. Like, come on. And I know it's not her responsibility to make sure her fans don't fuel their own unhealthy mindsets and behaviors, but if you're gonna act morally superior by not showing a tutorial and then making one right after, that's just dumb. And not only that, she also tried to sell commissions to edit other people's photos like hers. So what is it? Are you gonna say you shouldn't endorse this stuff, or are you going to endorse this stuff? Please make up your mind. Now, other than being a hypocrite, she's also been racist to her own race, as you can see from this Facebook post. It says, "I realize I've likely always used my being fluent in English as a protective means to self-isolate from the cruel, illiterate, inbred phenotype of Filipinos, and as a supplement to finding genuinely kind people without brains the size of cashews." That hurt to fucking read. But I know a lot of people who watch these videos are doing something else and are just listening and don't really look at the screen, so I did that for you, Pookie. But, to that post, I say, what the fuck? That's it. What made you think that posting this wasn't going to get you any backlash? And I just realized this was recent, too. It literally says January 19th. You have a following at this point, and you're posting stuff like this thinking that you're not going to get any sort of backlash on it? Now, what she said is really fucked up. I can acknowledge that. And also, feel bad because I know that there's other people that feel like this about their own race and ethnicity, and it just saddens me. But just know, if you have ever felt this way, if anyone has ever felt this way, just know that your culture is beautiful and you should appreciate that. You should be glad and happy in the culture that you're born with, despite what anybody tells you, despite what sometimes even your own people tell you to be things like colorist to your own people. And as a Mexican, I'm going to use my own ethnicity as an example. It is really prominent in Mexico. If you look at any telenovela, there will always be the white Mexican that is casted as the main character. Or I always hear Mexicans talk about how they're... Bless you. That was my cat sneezing. Sorry for that. But there are some Mexicans that talk about how their parents growing up would always tell them that they were too morenita and they need to lighten up, they need to get out of the sun, which it saddens me so bad. I was lucky enough to not have a mother like that or a father like that, but the fact that it even happens upsets me because it should not matter. If you're morenita, you're beautiful. Like, please, I need you all to understand. Okay, back to the topic at hand. I'm so sorry. I got sappy, but I hate people. I don't hate seeing that. But even though I can empathize with her in that aspect, this is only an explanation for what she does, not really a, way to defend it. This is editing Quinsimp here, and I really should have mentioned and brought up the fact that her editing style is inherently a result of colorism in her country because it's really prominent in Southeast Asian countries, so... And that's the whole reason why when she edits herself like 3-4 times lighter than she actually is. So yeah, I feel like that context is needed for the little tangent I went on. And once again, when I say this, I mean this as an explanation and not an excuse for her behaviors. So another accusation that has been thrown at her is that she's apparently trying to act Japanese, or like she's acting like a stereotypical Japanese person. And one reason people think this is in her editing style. She lightens her skin, she enlarges her eyes, she shrinks her chin, and that is generally the East Asian beauty standard. So people think that her editing style is for her to look more East Asian, which to me, when you put that together with the fact that she's trying to speak Japanese but just does it so poorly in her videos, and she constantly talks about Japanese culture, I mean, it makes sense that people assume that. I'm assuming that. But that's not the only reason why people are accusing her of acting like a Japanese stereotype. There are videos of her wearing Japanese school uniforms. There's a specific video of her dancing to a song with a Japanese gym uniform. So, yeah, kind of weird. And what doesn't help here is specifically in the clip of her dancing in the Japanese gym school uniform. You can say that I'm reaching in this, but I don't care. She does a specific dance move, and that dance move is associated with a specific lolly.
Do you guys remember this video of Yumi where she is dancing while wearing a Japanese uniform? Watch this clip very closely. The dance she is doing is actually from the song Loli God Requiem. The person in the video is a mezugaki, meaning bratty loli, which basically means a young girl who likes to tease older men who are attracted to her. What she was doing, she is lullabating.
And you're probably thinking, oh my god, this cannot get any worse. It does get worse. When she talks, she adds certain... This also can feel like reaching, okay? But when she talks, she adds certain like weird quirks to it. I'm just gonna play the clips of what I'm talking about, and you be the judge of and all that.
Procedure. That hair is overdue and it looks not very good right now. Not as nice as I'd like for it to. Conditioner. Shiseido line. And...
I personally find it odd with the context of everything else she's done. But that's not the reason why this gets worse. It gets worse because people found, guess what? Another Facebook post. Okay, I lied. It's not one Facebook post, it's 2. But the first one says, I need this bought for me by a rich man or I will die. And it's a Kasugano Sora cosplay. And the other Facebook post says, just realized my body is good enough to now cosplay Sora, Kasugano, and Saya. So if you don't know, she's basically saying she wants to cosplay a character from an incest anime with minors. Like, that character is quite literally a child and is in love with her brother. And that's not even the worst part of this anime. This anime shows these siblings in explicit situations. So, I don't even know how to react to that other than pure fucking disgust, because what the actual fuck? So yeah, when I saw this post, I was like, okay, yeah, this girl is definitely lolly baiting, okay? This pretty much confirms that. And what's so baffling to me is some people are literally trying to defend her. People have been saying that she just wants the aesthetic. Y'all are acting like this aesthetic is exclusive to this character. If she wanted to this aesthetic, she could just say like, I want a cute girl aesthetic, not a whole fucking character that is a child and gets freaky with her brother. And you can't tell me that she doesn't know what that anime is about, because she's made this her profile picture before. She's made this character her profile picture. And you know what you have to do to get that profile picture? You have to look it up. Okay, so she has either watched this show or she's read that synopsis that shows up when you look it up on Google, okay? Because there's just no way. You don't go making random characters from animes that you haven't watched your profile picture. Like, the only way I can think about people doing that is if you're a person of color and you want like a brown skin anime character and you just find whatever you see, but that's it. Okay, now that's all the bad of the bad, like the worst of the worst that she's done, okay, that I've found, that I've been able to find. But she's also been called out and attacked for certain things that I just don't think are valid to be criticizing her about. And one of them is that she was on ED Twitter. And you know, I don't know whether she was glorifying the stuff on there, but people have been mocking her for her eating issues. Why? That's literally not gonna solve anything. She is not the only person with an eating problem. Imagine if some other person with an eating problem saw that you were making fun of somebody with those same issues, and just like imagine how they would think. That's just so gross and unnecessary to do. And a lot of people have been bringing up this one Facebook post about her reposting a post, reposting, I don't know how Facebook works, of a post that says, boys with glasses are for... This is the one nonsensical thing that I think people are calling her out for. Like, all the other stuff that I brought up, I think is completely valid to not like her for. But this one... Do you know how many people oogle over men like that on the internet? Like, if she was talking about, like, a actor, like an actual actor or something like that, like a real person, then I would feel like, okay, yeah, I can somewhat back up that that's a problematic thing to do. But just that context and the fact that she didn't even post that herself, I feel like, yeah, it's dumb to call her out for that. Now, with all that stuff I said that she's done, has she apologized for any of the stuff? No. There is a video going around of people saying that she has apologized. No, if you watched the video, which, oh my god, I know it's such like a painstaking video to watch because it's so long. Just put it in 2x speed, bro. She pretty much just, the whole video is her asking, can you guys tell me what I did wrong? Because there's haters out here that are hating on me, and I just don't want to have to look at the haters.
Hello, I'd like to address all of the controversy surrounding me lately, here on TikTok and in general. But before I can honestly be capable of doing that, I'd appreciate it if all of you with things to say regarding this can comment under this video every criticism you may have of things that I have done or that I've been alleged to have done, so that I can make sure not to miss a single point for when I go on to deconstruct everything for you all in the following video, as properly and as truthfully as I can. The criticisms which are valid, the things which are absolute lies, and the sentiments that are just pure, unadulterated hatred masquerading as morality. I really would love to address this all as comprehensively as I possibly can, but as you can imagine, I don't have any conceivable means right now to really know very much of what's going on, because that would mean actually looking through all the accounts created supposedly to criticize my actions, but that ultimately on the most part only persist to demean me for my appearance, my demeanor, and my personhood as a whole. And so, bits and pieces from you all would be a great help in making this a productive and openly communicative discourse. And I'll make sure to read through every comment that is civil, constructive, and coming from a place of plain, level-headed critique, but not of plain condescension and hatred. That's all. Thank you.
Girl, how did that stuff not pop up on your For You page or something? We're not the one who did it. You gotta do that research yourself, okay? Figure out what you did wrong. Also, the stuff that you did is so bad. How can you not see, or how do you not know already what you did wrong? You can say that I'm being harsh right now, but I think to, like, play ignorant is so dumb, okay? Sometimes you gotta be a little harsh to people for them to get the clue and strive to change. Sorry for all the stuttering in that. That was off script. Yeah, I just forgot to write it in my script. Now, with all that being said, my final thoughts are she needs to stay off the internet because clearly it's not a healthy place for her and it's probably what's fueling her unhealthy behavior. And with the lolly stuff, I feel like she's 19, so yes, she's young, but I just don't know. I feel like at 19, you should still know that shit is weird. But to stay optimistic, I hope she will put those big words she's using to work and mature to the level of her vocabulary.